Alrighty, so today we are going to be talking about the remaining EZAs for the 10th anniversary. The Part 2 LRs may have been revealed, but we still have a lot more to get through before the end of the anniversary. And this is going to be based off of the roadmap, but there is going to be a little bit extra from it that potentially could be a little bit of a mess, because there is one thing that we're going to be talking about later in this video that isn't quite as what we were expecting, right? There's something interesting with the Baba Shop right now that is going to be leading to potentially two characters that could EZA. It's definitely not a guarantee, but we at least have to talk about it because it's just important to discuss, right? So with that being said, hopefully you guys do enjoy today, and let me know down below which EZA you are the most excited for. So first, let's go ahead and start with the obvious. This is going to be the LR Super Saiyan Gods, and if you see the LR Super Saiyan Gods, you probably know who that means for the EZA, right? There's a counterpart to this character. I'm not trying to be secretive or discreet about it. You guys know who it is. So let's go ahead and look at this character in specific with the LR Gods. What do they have going for them that could potentially make them a very good EZA? Well, first off, they have a very good leader skill still, right? It's a little bit unfortunate that we are kind of moving into this, 220 and 250% leader skill meta. But one thing to notice here that is good is the fact that this character is actually one of the first two 200% leaders. So with that, it's going to make things interesting, right? Because we could potentially see like a 180 right here, and then maybe a 30 or a 40, and this could potentially be a 220 or just a 210% lead, or they just stay as 200%. So the beauty of this character is the fact that even if they don't get a leader skill buff, they still are a 200% to most characters. So Power Beyond Super Saiyan movie heroes with Kamehameha, that is a very hard overlap. With Kamehameha, if we just kind of pull this category up right now, we can sort of just look at this briefly, and we could just go down the list, right? This guy is on a 200%. You're on a 200%, right? You're on a 200% because you're going to be Power Beyond Super Saiyan, right? This is movie heroes. Power Beyond Super Saiyan, movie heroes, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, right? You guys get the idea. Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, right? Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So you get you kind of get the idea, right? So this is going to be a really good 200%. And guess who else is going to be on Power Beyond Super Saiyan and movie heroes? It's going to be the new Gogeta and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So both of these characters are going to be very impactful. So I'm looking forward to this EZA a decent bit. Now, they do have a decent skeleton here that I think could be a bit interesting. And that is going to be the fact that they have guard and then the extra, key per key sphere, right? I don't think that's like the craziest thing, but it is sort of like the modern day ability that helps LR stay consistent with their key, right? That was a problem years ago, but not really as much as it used to be anymore. So that is good, right? Nothing really to complain about there. Extra keeper orb is going to be helpful. Maybe like what could help is maybe like a little bit of orb changing for these guys, but I doubt they're going to do that. That would probably just be like the role of somebody else on the team, but a very good link set, right? We have Kamehameha, Godly Power, Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle. All of these crazy good links. Warrior Gods, I'd say, is probably the worst link here, because if we click on this, this link is just okay, right? Like the most modern character being Gogeta Blue, TURs aside, just not exactly what we are looking for in the modern age, but this is still a very good character, and they're going to be helping out 15 teams that are all pretty good here. There's like, you look at this setup right here in specific, and you don't really see like a bad category, right? Like Power Beyond Super Saiyan, very good. Movie Heroes, very good. Realm of Gods, very good. Pure Saiyans is very, very good right now because they have a true leader finally. Joined Forces is pretty good. Fusion is definitely the worst of this bunch, but they're about to get a really good character here soon in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, as well as the new LR Gogeta that's coming out very soon. Transformation Boost, very good. Kamehameha, very good. Final Trump Card, very good. Time Limit, Mastered Evo, Fused Fighters. All these teams are decent, right? So, Super Saiyan Gods, very good. And when it comes to their EZA, I think there is a very good chance that these guys do see a lot of help in terms of the teams that they are on because of the action break that they have. This is one of the craziest, this is still a really good mechanic because most bosses are not immune to this, and it's going to be able to, I don't know if any boss is immune to an action break off the top of my head. Maybe like EZA bosses. I think that like high level EZA bosses are immune to that, but even with that, most characters or bosses in the game are not going to be able to deal with that, and or are not going to be able to be immune to it. So this character is going to be able to disable actions, and they're going to have dodge per rainbow key sphere obtained. So that's going to be very helpful. Most of the time you're going to be looking at least 21% chance to dodge. Probably going to want to put dodge in the hidden potential system, but I think that this EZA has a lot of potential. So there you go. There's the first one. I went on for a bit longer than I usually do. Let me know if y'all prefer that. But this EZA, very high potential for like high damage, decent dodge chance. They're just going to need a little bit more of the modern bells and whistles in order to kind of keep up. So that's going to bring us to the next character. When it comes to the skeleton, there's not really too much to talk about, but Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This EZA is very, very important. I would say it's probably more important than than the LR Gods EZAs, specifically for one reason, and that is going to be the fact that this is like the best linking partner in terms of like synergy with this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? They are really going to need to nail this, like hammer this one home, because this guy having like a modern partner that could potentially be like a slot 1 character or something like that would be very, very helpful with the links that they share here. Let's click on this right here. They share Super Saiyan, Saiyan Roar, Kamehameha, GT, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, and so 95% attack just from links and extra defense. On top of that, Goku does give support and stuff like that. So this is going to be a very important EZA because Giant 8 Power needs help in the worst way, right? If we look at this team right here, where is Giant 8 Power? We pulled this one up. Not much going on here, right? You're good, and then it's kind of just like you suck for the rest of this, right? People like to cope for Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but really not that good. This guy's more than likely going to be EZAing. We'll be talking about him in a moment. And then it's a lot of just really sort of Heroes-based stuff, and Heroes is obviously not an optimal team right now, so keep that in mind. Now, with this character here, just what I'd like, it's very similar to what the LR Gods are in terms of like the categories that they are helping, but I think that this character has a higher chance of being better in terms of individual kit, because if you guys remember during the 7-year, you know, everybody was saying like LR God's better just because of how they fit in terms of the scheme of the game, with how they linked with other characters, how they paired up with other units and stuff like that. That was sort of like the kicker for them, right? Like this is why they're better. And this guy, it could be the same case, but I think the damage reduction per Rainbow Orb on top of like a baseline damage reduction is going to be extremely clutch. So we'll see. I'm very excited to see where Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta goes from here, but who knows now. I think that this is going to be a very good EZA. Let's go ahead and move on. And that is going to be Kaioken Goku. Now, no active skill on this guy, no transformation, so we just have to see what we're working with, right? The intro buff, or not the, yeah, the intro buff against Vegeta, not the best in the world. I want to say there is a difficult Vegeta fight in the game right now. Maybe not difficult, but there is a fight against Vegeta in the Battle Hardened Foe stage. Because of the Z fights, right? So like that'll be helpful. Maybe we get like another Vegeta fight during this anniversary, because I'm going to Goku's Story Red Zone right now to double check on this. Goku's Story, yes, there is also a fight against Vegeta, so that will be helpful. That's probably going to be where this character sees his most effective turns, if you will, because Key 3 and Attack plus 70 is really good, but it's not like a crazy intro buff like we've seen with other characters, where they're getting additional guard for turns, they're getting damage reduction, they're giving like support or something like that. It's just a very basic intro animation, so I don't think it's going to be like something that the character absolutely needs, but one thing that this guy does have on his 18 key super attack is he does raise his attack and defense by 100%. I'm not saying that word. You guys are good. You know what it is. You can read it on the screen. But he does raise his attack and defense on super by 100%. One thing that will be interesting, though, is that he does sacrifice HP on this, so hopefully that just stays the same. But I would imagine it will, so we will see. Then when we have 18 or more key, we're getting a lot of extra attack right here. High chance to perform a crit, not bad. So being an orb changer is nice as well, but this EZA is going to need quite a bit more in order to kind of be where we want it at. So let's go ahead and move on here, and we have Vegeta, the counterpart to this guy. There are 2 spots in the Saiyan Saga, so this is the most likely option here. So one thing right off the bat, what I don't like, what none of us should like, is the effect on this 18 key. This sucks. It is just an AoE and it does nothing else, right? AoEs are cool, but not when there is no effect. We need to raise attack, we need to raise defense, right? We have to do something. Just an AoE is nowhere near enough, and it's probably going to be in here in the passive because I'm dumb. Yes, so when attacking with 18 or more key, here it is, right? We get that extra here on that, but that could be like if you're sealed, but what we're going to need for an EZA, right? With this, you're going to need more, right? It's going to need to be that extra defense plus 60 on there on top of the super attack effect, right? I know that like you could view that as a mistake there, but I think that like it is very important that we get more than just 60% defense on super, right? If it's in like on top of like another raise right here, if it's like a 50% and then 110% defense isn't bad. Having that guard is nice, right? This is going to be a little bit easier to get. Fighting Gokus is much more common than fighting Vegetas in this game. just because there's a lot more versions of Goku. So having that extra guard is nice, but there should probably be a little bit more effects after it's activated. Having it innately is very good, right? Just saying guards all attacks is very good. So that is something that is important here, but what this character really needs is an extra super attack effect. I think that is going to be one of the most important things. So having a giant form, obviously you guys know how this is. It's very clutch, does help a decent bit, and we do raise our attack on this super attack effect. So going to need to tweak this up, and I think this EZA should be fine. It's tough to make these custom EZA concepts because I don't want to like raise expectations too high, and then like people are going to be like, okay, well, this is not even close to what we were looking for. So that is why we're going to sort of avoid that. But I think that this one is a very impactful EZA, because extreme class characters are just so much more uncommon for EZAs, right? And this guy's on plenty of teams that could use help, right? Inhuman Deeds, Giant 8 Power is going to be very important, right? Terrifying Conquerors could use some help. Successors is going to need it, right? Saiyan Saga obviously needs the help. So Gifted Warriors could use a buff. So this guy, very impactful EZA. I hope they do a good job, but who knows? Now, let's go ahead and move on to ones that are potential. This one is a little bit more speculation, and that is going to be this GT Goku here. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell is this in here? The GT spot is already filled. Well, there's something interesting going on in the shop right now. I believe it is the Proof of Mastery shop. There is exclusive orbs for this guy. Now, this could be in just an advance for another celebration. That is entirely possible, but I'm going to talk about it as we know right now, and there is a decent chance here that this guy could potentially EZA from those EX orbs being in one of the exchange shops. So, with that being said, I think that this is a really important EZA as well, because this is going to help, again, AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who's 100% going to need that help on Giant 8 Power. So, this is going to be a, what's it called, per GT Heroes ally. Like, this is going to be GT Heroes buffs, it's going to be Giant 8 Power, Kamehameha, Super Saiyan, all of that fun stuff. These teams could all use like that little bit of help, right? Even if these teams are really good, this is just like a really nice plug and play unit, right? You just put him where you need him, he's going to fit fine. And then the GT Heroes team, this was a really, really nice addition when this team was debuted back in 2021, running sort of like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Int 1, and then running like full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, the EZAs for the second year characters. It was a very fun team. So that is why this guy's probably going to EZA, but this one is definitely not a for sure thing. So just keep that in mind as the day goes on, but this one is definitely possible. And then the second one is going to be, this one is going to be interesting because this guy also, Evolution Blue Vegeta, also has EX skill orbs that you can purchase. So that is a bit confusing. Look at this. Oh my God. He shares 20 categories. He has 20 categories, excuse me, that he shares with himself, right? Like 20, this guy's on 20 teams. That's awesome, man. But this guy also has EX skill orbs in that shop. So then that makes me wonder, are they going to prematurely do a super EZA for this guy, even though he only EZA'd 3 years ago? It is very interesting. I'm not sure. So let me know down below what you guys think of this. I'm not sure where this is going. Maybe this has already been like confirmed to not happen. But I don't believe it has. I feel like I would have known by now. So we have two more characters here that we need to talk about, two more super EZAs during the celebration, and these are potential as well. This one is potential, and then one is like soft confirmed. We'll talk about the one that's basically soft confirmed already, and that is going to be Tech Cell. He is going to be getting a super EZA based on the banner from the Dokkan, like the Extreme Z banner that has like a bunch of different characters on it, and this guy is in that pool. So more than likely he's going to super EZA. This is the one where Janemba, Gogeta, Vegito, and Janemba, Gogeta, Vegito, there's one more, Buhan, right? All those guys have Super EZA'd, and Cell is on that banner, so it's more than likely that he is going to be there in that. So he's probably going to Super EZA, and then last but not least, we have LR Gohan. He is on the Part 2 banner. He will more than likely be on the Part 2 banner, would be my guess. If he's on that banner, it soft confirms it, or yeah, soft confirms, and then it will be hard confirm more than likely. So we'll see. Let me know down below what you guys think. I think that this could be a very impactful EZA just based on the amount of teams that this guy has, all that fun stuff. So if you did enjoy today, don't forget to leave a like before you go. Subscribe if you were new, and I'll see you all in the next one.